For the longest time, I didn't even know what a spiritual journey is. By the way, we're all on a spiritual journey because if you're born listening to this, it means you're a human and therefore you're on your spiritual journey. Wow. It all started for me when I had fulfilled all of my tasks in society. I got my degree, landed a job at a company that was my dream company, and I had gotten this through hard work and consistency. And I remember sitting there in the office. I had never felt emptier in my entire life. It was like something just came and stabbed me in the heart. You don't have any inner peace right now? What's the last few years worth then if you're not happy? I think that really started my existential crisis, which in turn started my spiritual journey. And I was extremely confused. No one else has these questions about life. I started thinking about what I'm doing here and what is this? I got so interested in purpose. I was really confused on my spiritual journey. I didn't even know what it was, honestly. Like my whole life just got flipped upside down on me. I didn't understand what the next move was. I didn't have a plan of action the way I had my entire life. I was just trying to be happy and not miserable every single day. That was my goal, I suppose. I started going through a phase where I thought I was not gonna be okay. And so I started thinking, oh no, what am I gonna do? And so I tried to revert the whole thing. I tried to go, no, X, we are backing up. You're happy, 9 to 5, that's great. You can keep going. Working your ass off, not getting paid for it. That's cool. That's normal. Everyone else does it. But I tried that for a while and it just didn't work. Internal intuition of trying to be on the spiritual path that I apparently was just getting called to be on at this phase of my life in this lifetime was so strong that I had no choice but to pursue it. And so here I am doing it. I started to read more books. I started to listen to podcasts. I started to meditate a lot more. I've started to be exposed to a whole other world that I didn't know existed, honestly. But you see, the problem now, society has its grips in me. I was so worried about what other people are gonna think of me if I do things for myself and make my own life decisions. There's a lot of hurdles that one has to face on their spiritual journey, but there's consistency that you must take in the steps to obtain and continue on the spiritual journey. Now, I know there's no books and I know there's no guidance exactly on a spiritual journey because much of it is done from the inside. There are some things that I learned quickly that if you don't do, you can end up going a little crazy. And so I left my job. I finally set out on this pursuit of happiness. This was terrifying. Now I have to think practically and think, okay, girl, you left everything that you worked for, and so therefore you left that. So I started getting very stressed out and I started putting this huge barrier in my own head when it came to my spiritual journey, which is the opposite of what a spiritual journey entails. My biggest mistake. That's when I started to give myself grace and having a little bit more patience on my journey. Then came a miraculous moment. I understood my reality. I understood that I am on my own journey and that doesn't compare to anyone else's journey, and my journey is gonna unfold whether I like it or not. It's not under my control. There is a balance between mundane tasks that we must do as a human and our journeys towards being liberated. That is how you can stay consistent on your spiritual journey and find inner peace. Now, this balance for me personally is a mindset to know that everything is temporary. We all as humans have goals and aspirations. There's nothing wrong with working towards those goals and aspirations while having to do mundane tasks as a human being in the meantime. It's all part of the journey. Being so focused on the outcome and the goal is something also conditioned into us from society, but a spiritual journey doesn't give a shit about those things. It is all inside and within, and it is your soul, and it is the universe that you're living in, and it's a lot to do with surrendering to the universe. This doesn't mean that you're not ambitious in life anymore and you don't have these goals. In fact, it did quite the opposite, as I was able to have a greater capacity for work because I had a mindset that, hey, this thing that I don't like doing is actually quite temporary. It's just something that you gotta do because you are a human right now in this lifetime. Being able to have my spiritual awakening and see that there is a much more bigger story Before, I would struggle with meditating because I would be like, what the fuck is this for? Like, I don't understand. But now I realize it doesn't need to give me something tangible. It's giving you inner peace. It takes time. Patience is such a big thing on a spiritual journey because you have to first understand that there is no destination. And second, you have to understand that what you're doing on a spiritual journey is a step-by-step process that's unfolding for you. Each phase comes with its own emotions. And again, with these emotions, you have to know it's temporary. One day we're gonna be gone. We're not gonna be here anymore. That was my biggest, like, also, just because you started your spiritual journey does not mean you have to suddenly turn all like hippie or whatever. A spiritual journey means that you are aware and in the present moment at all times of your life, and you're able to move through your life so gracefully. Sometimes in the initial stages when you're figuring something out, like all things in life, you're a little bit confused, and that might alter the way you think. There's a time period to that. It's not eternity. You have a much stronger foundation when you start your spiritual journey because it's like the rug got pulled out from under your feet and you had nothing and you had to rebuild yourself in a more tame and more graceful manner and with a more aligned energy, and you're able to be open to the world, and the universe is literally helping you. Like, the amount of opportunities that are coming my way that are more aligned to me now makes me feel so light. I don't even know how I was functioning in society earlier, just 2 years ago, doing something that I did not want to do and it was not aligned to me. Now it's like, because I was able to surrender and take all the steps I already talked about, there's a whole other world that's opened up. If you are also someone who is on your spiritual journey and going through the same phases, trust the process and just remember that the universe is just trying to help you. You're not put on this planet to suffer. There is a way out, and it's gonna unfold for you while you're on your spiritual journey. And this is a community. This is what this entire YouTube page is about. If you do enjoy content like this, you should give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. And aside from that, I'll see you guys next video.